First at 4, a missing family mystery. What happened to this Michigan mother, father, and their 2 sons? The concerning details surrounding their disappearance. Kim.
What a difference just a few hours make. The rain and snow is now off to our east, and we are left with some late day sunshine. I'll have your weekend forecast straight ahead.
And with the recent colder weather, groups around the area are preparing for a massive giveaway to keep families warm. How you can take advantage.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Time at our news, First at 4, take a look. It's what's happening outside. If you saw some snow today, you weren't alone. Our crews were up in Clarkston earlier, caught it really coming down for a bit. Oh, goodness, it has begun, right? We begin with your forewarned weather. Kim Adams, this was really, for most of us, the first time we saw any snow this season.
It just depends on where you live. Oxford, Ortonville had snow earlier in the week, a few flakes around. This was the really the most that we've seen it not mixing in with the rain, where you could actually tell that those are snowflakes. But that's all behind us. That's all well off to the east, and we are left with some late day sunshine. It's still cold, though. Temperatures are only in the upper 30s to low 40s. You look at the visible satellite, and skies have quickly started to clear. In fact, back out to the west, lots of sunshine already in Howell, Romulus, and even here in downtown Detroit, we have some breaks of the sun, and that clearing will continue over the next several hours. But at night, when you get clear skies, you get very cold temperatures this time of year. So we'll talk about lows tonight and the weekend warm up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. Our other top story here at 4, the strange circumstances surrounding a missing Michigan family. The facts unfolding slowly over the past couple of days, sparking some serious concern from loved ones as well as investigators. Devin Skillian joins us now with some brand new developments from the newsroom. Devin.
Yeah, Karen, right now we know the Siriglianos disappeared Monday in Fremont, 40 miles north of Grand Rapids. However, things actually started to unravel the night before when Anthony Sirigliano called police. Let's start with the basics here. The family of 4 includes 51-year-olds Anthony and Suzette and their 2 teenage sons, Brandon and Noah. Anthony works in finance and Suzette is a full-time caretaker of her mother who suffers from dementia. On Sunday night, the night before the family vanished, police say there were signs of trouble. Apparently, Anthony called 911, was acting paranoid and ranting about the September 11th attacks. Officers stopped by the family's home, did a welfare check, but determined that no one was in imminent danger. Well, then we moved to Monday. A neighbor called police after spotting Suzette's elderly mother wandering the streets, and that's when officers returned to the Siriglianos and realized everyone was missing.
We are just concerned because this is so irregular, and that's why we're really reaching out to the whole world if they can give us any type of information just to make sure that Tony and Suzette and the kids are okay, and to let us know their well-being.
Now, police believe the family is traveling in a 2005 silver Toyota Sienna minivan. They say there's no activity on the couple's credit cards or bank accounts. Nothing to give them clues on that front. As for the family's cell phones, Anthony's is turned off. The other 3 apparently left them behind in the home. So if you know anything, have seen this family, or know anything that might help police, call Fremont Police. And meanwhile, coming up tonight at 6, we're talking with the brother of Anthony to find out more about what might have happened. So we'll keep following it. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Devin. New at 4, I-96 back open after that shooting on the freeway. Police say one man was hurt in the shooting in the eastbound lanes near Outer Drive in Detroit. The freeway was shut down for about 3 hours while police investigated. State police are still looking into the circumstances. A 2-year-old boy is out of the hospital this afternoon after being stabbed by a relative overnight. Police say a 56-year-old woman was arrested for stabbing the child in an apartment complex over on Chrysler Drive near Warren in Detroit. Right now, police are looking into exactly what led up to this. The suspected Oxford High School shooter was back in court today for his monthly hearing to decide if he will stay in the Oakland County Jail. Every 30 days, a hearing is held for Ethan Crumbley to decide if he should be moved to a juvenile facility. A judge decided Crumbley will stay put in the county jail. Crumbley is charged as an adult in the deaths of 4 Oxford High School students. His trial is expected to begin in January. Some sad news today from Frankenmuth. The president and owner of the famous Frankenmuth Bavarian Inn Lodge has died. If you've been to Frankenmuth, you know her last name well. Judy Zender Keller died at home with her family nearby at the age of 77. She started working at the Bavarian Inn restaurant back in 1960, led the company through 6 expansions, and then built the Bavarian Inn Lodge in 1986. Judy is the second owner of an iconic Frankenmuth institution to die this week. On Sunday, the matriarch of Bronner's, Irene Bronner, died at the age of 95. Rob Maloney is in Frankenmuth today, looking into how these women really turned a small Michigan town into a tourism empire.
Traverse City, Mackinac City, great Michigan tourism destinations, do a lot of business, but they are seasonal. Here in Frankenmuth, because they're year-round, they catapult to the top of Michigan's vitally important tourism industry. And just this past week, this town was rocked.
Judy cared so much about celebrating our German heritage.
Irene was, in Wally, what do you say? Look what they built.
2 of the matriarchs, women who made this place, this Bavarian village, what it is, passed away. Now, the community is looking to move forward using their inspiration. We'll hear their story.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Thank you, Rod. Taking a look at what's making headlines around the world, starting with a major shakeup in Britain. Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned after less than 2 months. Now, this makes her Britain's shortest-serving prime minister ever.
I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
Her proposed tax cuts for the wealthy sent the British pound into a tailspin. The government has since walked back its tax plan. Britain's Conservative Party says it will have a new leader ready by next week, but the opposition party is calling for an election. The wife of a U.S. diplomat pleads guilty in the death of a teenager in England. Now, you may remember this case from 2019. It led to a serious rift between the U.S. and British governments. Anne Sokolis was accused of hitting and killing a 19-year-old man on a motorcycle near an Air Force base used by the U.S. military. She left Britain shortly after, claiming immunity, and the U.S. refused to extradite her. The U.S. negotiated to hold her trial over video. She will be sentenced in November, and the U.K. wants her to appear in person. Well, as the weather gets colder, local churches want to make sure that families in need have a way to stay warm. They're giving away 20 tons of clothes. It's happening at churches throughout our area in Farmington, Southfield, Dearborn, Roseville, and Flint. Our Kim DeGiulio is in Southfield to show us who can benefit and how.
You never know what a person in need really needs, and that's why there have been volunteers here at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here in Southfield sorting through all of these donations. Look, they even found a wedding dress.
Sorting through 10 tons of clothing donations is hard work.
Well, I mean, it's an act of love, right? So it doesn't feel like it's tedious.
Volunteer Stuart Wooders has been a volunteer for this cause put on by his church since 2016.
I am taking time off work to be here, but at the same time, I'm doing what I really want to do, which is help other people.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is headquartered in Salt Lake City, which is where all of these clothes come from.
8 to 10 tons is what we receive in this building. Throughout the whole area, we're receiving about 20 tons that are shared between Roseville, Farmington, Dearborn, and Flint.
At each location, volunteers like Stuart are sorting through everything to make it easier and more presentable when the people who need these coats, shirts, scarves, and boots come through.
My favorite thing is when you have someone come in and they're looking through the pile, they're looking through the folded clothes, and they're looking through the coats, and they can't find what they're looking for, and you say, well, what are you looking for? And you go and you help them. Like, that's a much better feeling than saying, here, open the doors, come on in.
Someone who really appreciated that help is James McGow.
I had gotten clothes, I had gotten jackets.
A few years ago, he needed these donations. Now he's volunteering with the church, doing outreach to make sure people are aware of what's available.
Being on both sides, you get to see from the coming and getting the stuff to the time that's spent dealing with taking care of the stuff to get it to the public.
James says you never know what somebody is going through, but giving somebody a warm coat or a pair of pants goes a long way through the hard times.
It makes a big difference, and to me, that's who I am. I'm a person that tries to help and put back into my community.
Now on Friday, people with vouchers from the church's partner organizations are going to be able to come through and take what they need. Then on Saturday, between the hours of 8 and noon, anyone is welcome to come and take what they need as well. Reporting in Southfield, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.